Hello and welcome to the Collections Archive here at the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum. My name is Brad Horn. I'm Senior Director for Communications and Education here at the National Baseball Hall of Fame. Today joined by Lenny DiFranza, our Assistant Curator of New Media. And Lenny, we are here with two artifacts recently obtained from the 2012 World Series champion San Francisco Giants. Has a nice ring to it for you, I'm sure.
As a Giants fan, it's a wonderful moment.
And of course, we love all 30 clubs equally here in Cooperstown.
Officially.
And we have great representation among our staff. But these treasures, the World Series has just concluded. They're here in Cooperstown now, and we're going to talk a little bit about the two of the stories of the several that we're commemorating in our newest World Series exhibit, Autumn Glory, which will open in November. Talk about what that exhibit is and what it will bring to the Hall of Fame.
Every year we are able to show a special exhibit, highlight the champions from that season, and when the artifacts come in from direct from the field or the clubhouse, however they come to us, we're able to tell the stories of the World Series and the players who had the wonderful moments that highlighted that series.
So I think we're going to talk about two of those pieces that we have that obtained during the World Series, and maybe start a little bit here at the beginning with Game 1 and Pablo Sandoval. Tell us what happened in that game.
It was remarkable for Pablo Sandoval to start off the World Series in Game 1 against the great ace of the Detroit Tigers, Justin Verlander, and not only be able to hit him to some degree, but smash 2 home runs with this bat off of Verlander, and then later on in the game, after this bat was broken, hit another one. 3 home runs, one of the few times that's been done in World Series history.
Joined Babe Ruth, Reggie Jackson, and Albert Pujols. This bat is very unique in that instance, Lenny, that it was used to hit the first 2. And at the night of Game 1, I found myself in the Giants clubhouse and went in there to talk specifically with the equipment staff about this bat. Found out that Pablo had come out of the game, and immediately just went to talk with Pablo. He was kind enough to donate the bat from the All-Star game to us. And he said, I've got these 2 bats that I used. This was the first one, and it happened that on the second home run and his backswing, the handle snapped. So this seemed like the logical choice for us as the museum to document. There were 2 choices to represent one milestone, a gamer that he obviously was keeping use of, or this now dead bat that he had hit both home runs off Justin Verlander.
The great thing about this bat is it represents not only a pivotal moment in the World Series to start off the series with such a bang and put the Tigers back on their heels, but in the whole history of the game, because 3 homers have been hit in a World Series game so infrequently, it's such a remarkable moment. This will stand as an example of one of the great timeless moments in World Series history.
And it's terrific when you have a player like Pablo, who was so willing and generous with his donation. He obviously respects the history of the game.
And did you find that a lot of the players were happy to be asked by the Hall of Fame to donate their items?
Absolutely. The Giants in particular this year, as a collective bunch, were so pleased. Pablo, Gregor Blanco, whose glove that will also be featured in the exhibit, gave up a glove that he used all year long. Give up a gamer like that to come to Cooperstown is really special.
How about this jersey, Brad?
Yeah, this is a jersey of Ryan Vogelsong, who was instrumental in the World Series sweep. Vogelsong struck me as a very compelling story, a guy who's been through so much in terms of his minor league struggles, playing in Japan, Tommy John surgery, re-signs with the club that originally was a draft product of last year, becomes an all-star, and then at age 35 wins a World Series title. He agreed to donate the jersey. I thought at the time that it was something he was wearing. It wasn't, so he said it was in his locker, so worked with the clubhouse staff to acquire that out of his locker. It's got an interesting backstory and one that has a very happy ending. The jersey that was most prominently displayed in his locker when the MLB authentication staff, which we work very closely with, was there to look at the item and look at the special marks that they put on the jersey from games to indicate its authenticity, was not there. And so after some deliberation, after some investigation, I went back to Ryan with that jersey and said, for some reason this doesn't add up. It's not the jersey that you wore in Game 3. And he said, that's because it's not the jersey I wore in Game 3. So we went back to his locker, found that this in fact was the proper jersey, World Series Fall Classic. And this was a story that I'm glad that we were able to preserve because we found the right jersey.
And then when the artifacts are brought here to Cooperstown, the curatorial staff goes through another round of verification. We use photos and video to make sure that any individual markings on the bat or on the jersey or on all the items that you've delivered to us are absolutely the same ones that were used for the moments that we believe they were used. So that double check that we go through makes us feel absolutely confident in the descriptions that we use of the items that you bring to us. And the Vogelsong jersey is another great example of an artifact that tells more than one story. For his shutout innings, for his part in the second consecutive shutout of a team, hasn't happened since 1966. That alone makes this a great item, but then to have the backstory in addition to that, the story of his career and writing another chapter in his amazing rising from all the difficulties that he had in his career to now be so successful. To have two stories in one like that makes this a very special artifact.
A player and a team accomplishment, particularly a sweep, and particularly with a team like the 2012 Giants, is so team-oriented. You could potentially walk away from that clubhouse with 15 artifacts, but that doesn't do you any favor. It doesn't do the Hall of Fame as an institution any favor when we then have to care for those 15 artifacts. It would be nice, but that's not our job. It's to take away those stories that are most indelible.
And that'll be one of the focuses that we have in the exhibition that we'll have opening in November.
So we hope you enjoyed this trip through the Hall of Fame Collection archives with two recent acquisitions here to Cooperstown. We look forward to having you visit the exhibit on display the entire 2013 season here at the Baseball Hall of Fame until another champion is crowned, Lenny, in the fall of 2013. San Francisco Giants will reign as kings of baseball here in Cooperstown.